Coming up on First at 5, we show you how one organization is preserving history. A shortage of law enforcement officers in Marion County, the unlikely place they're looking to recruit from.
It's the 35th anniversary of the day a University of Florida student went for a walk and never returned.
I said, this is my only child. Who's going to fight for her if I don't?
How her family and investigators are keeping the search alive.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
The number of officers and deputies sworn to keep us safe is dwindling. This is First at 5. I'm Bianca Smith.
And I'm Loren Miranda. The nationwide problem is hitting too close to home here in North Central Florida. WUFT's Emilio Boutros spoke with the local police department about their incentives to get more people in the force.
Nearly every law enforcement agency in our area is actively recruiting their next batch of cadets, and some are offering thousands of dollars in bonuses to sign up. The Police Executive Research Forum out of Washington, D.C. says the decline is due to the pandemic and the public's distrust in policing.
The police shortage is kind of unsettling.
Gainesville Police Department's goal is to keep the streets safe. However, a national police officer shortage caused the department to scramble to find officers. Gainesville resident Sophia Ortiz is concerned.
As a resident of Gainesville, it just makes me kind of unsafe because I pay to live here, I pay tuition, and this is an issue that concerns me, so I feel like I should be able to feel safe.
Gainesville Police Public Information Officer Brandon Hansel says the effects of the shortages are revealing.
We have approximately 52 openings in our sworn officers positions. That's approximately 18 to 20% of our overall staffing for that role.
It's forcing departments to add extra incentive for people to apply.
We have a $7,500 bonus for joining. We also offer competitive pay for our area, and the city of Gainesville does tuition assistance.
Until the shortage ends, Hansel says his department will continue to find unique ways to attract people to protect and serve.
Officer Hassel mentioned the effects of the shortages cause long response times and fatigue from mandatory overtime. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is getting creative in the recruitment, actively seeking out students preparing to graduate high school for detention deputy and assistant jobs. Live in the studio, Emilio Boutros, WFT News.
Police in Ocala need your help identifying a robbery suspect. Take a good look at your screen. Investigators say that this man was involved in a sudden snatching at the Paddock Mall Wednesday. Police ask that if you recognize the person to call Detective Thomas at 352-369-7000. You can also submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers of Marion County online at ocalacrimestoppers.com.
2 UF student organizations are demanding action from university leaders after they say this peaceful protester was assaulted on campus yesterday. The group shared this video on their Instagram account, and the post has received thousands of views in a matter of hours. WUFT's Sarah Hauer is live at Turlington Plaza where the incident happened. Sarah, you received a statement from UFPD who say its top priority is to keep students safe and protect speech.
We're told the protester was demonstrating peacefully, something he does often on the campus of UF. In the video that's received thousands of views, you can see a student ripping the protester's pro-Palestine sign out of his hands and tearing it to pieces. Students for Justice in Palestine and Jewish Voices for Peace shared a statement via social media calling on the university to take immediate action. I reached out to UPD to see if they're investigating the incident. A university spokesperson sent me a statement that reads in part, "The University of Florida has been absolutely clear about this. We will protect free speech. Theft and vandalism are crimes, and UFPD will prosecute anyone who breaks the law. UF will both keep our students safe and protect speech. Vandalism is not speech, it's a crime." UFPD says they are charging the student with robbery by sudden snatching and criminal mischief. Live from Turlington Plaza, Sarah Hauer, WUFT News.
Today is the last day of Severe Weather Awareness Week, and the last topic of the week is extreme temperatures and wildfires. Florida is known as a sunshine state, but sometimes the heat can be pretty unbearable. Meteorologist William Maxham says that the extreme heat looks different for everybody.
Usually when somebody moves here, they're more affected by the higher heat and humidity here, so it's visitors that are more at risk, but anytime the temperature gets to 105 degrees in that heat index, anybody is at risk.
The best way to stay safe and cool during extreme heat waves is to avoid going outside for long periods of time, drink lots of water, and wear your sunscreen. Lots of people come to Florida to escape the frigid cold, but it's not always warmer here. There have been several cold outbreaks and below freezing temperatures. Strong winds make the air feel even colder than what it is. Floridians are encouraged to remember the 5 Ps: protecting people, plants, pets, exposed pipes, and practice fire safety. Florida's wildfire season is considered to be all year round. Wildfires can start at any time of the year, but the state sees peak activity in the beginning of January into mid-June. These wildfires can cause major environmental, social, and economic damages, but prescribed fires are good because they reduce brush and lower the risk of damages when a wildfire does occur. You can prepare before the wildfire strikes by meeting with your family and deciding what to do and where to go if the wildfire threatens in your area. And we won't be seeing any severe weather in north central Florida heading into your weekend, but the UF weather is tracking the new round of rain. UF forecaster Ben Gancarz-Davies is timing out when we can expect to see those showers.
That's right, Bianca. We aren't going to be experiencing any extreme heat this weekend. Current temperatures are honestly quite pleasant in the mid-70s. You can see these clouds in our Crystal River cam, little bit of sky peeking through, but current temperatures are in the mid-70s, quite pleasant for our January and February area of the year. Cooler temperatures Saturday morning coming in those mid-50s, and those are our coldest temperatures of the day. That's right before sunset. Coming up, we're going to be talking about how we're heating up this weekend, even hitting the 80s. As we keep looking forward, those Monday showers are going to come in, bringing that wet weather and settling down those warm temperatures for the rest of the week.
To go along with the warmer temperatures, there are a few events around north central Florida that you can enjoy this weekend. Alachua County's Cuskawilla Nature Center is offering an introduction to archery class Saturday morning. This class is for anyone wanting to try out the sport or hone their skills while gaining a better understanding of equipment and safety. The class is $25 for adults and $15 for children between the ages of 10 and 17. Children participating in the class must be accompanied by an adult. And the 2nd Street Circus Spectacular will take place this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Gainesville Circus Center. You can witness the Dragonflyers trapeze team soar through the air or go inside to view the aerial acrobats on silks and much more. Tickets are $10 for adults and free for kids 12 and under. And if you can't make either event this weekend, WUFT photojournalists will be there to capture all the action, and be sure to catch that coverage on WUFT.org. Talk about throwing people in the deep end of a swimming pool, or in this case, a burning building. Marion County firefighters fought a live blaze after they torched an abandoned home in Marion Oaks this morning. This was all part of a training exercise they conducted to work on putting out at-home fires.
The Florida Public Archaeology Network hosted a 2-day cemetery resource protection training conference this week. As WUFT's Suarez reports, a number of groups attended the event, including local descendants, caretakers, and historians.
There are an estimated 30 to 40 African American cemeteries in Alachua County. Archaeologists are doing their part in informing the community on how to preserve these historic landmarks.
There's a problem throughout Florida of cemeteries getting erased. Particularly historic African American cemeteries getting erased or abandoned.
Public Archaeology Coordinator Nigel Rudolph said this is the 2nd conference held in Gainesville in the last 10 years. The rich history and dozens of cemeteries in Gainesville brought crypt to the area. Dozens of participants learned how to document, manage, and clean the markers. Sisters Ethel Reed and Margaret Reese Williams came to find out how to better preserve their legacy.
Knowing that things are out there and you have the right to have them.
They've spent nearly 25 years preserving the peace of their lost loved ones. The first tombstone they preserved was their great-great-great-grandmother's. They researched and found where she was buried.
It was just, I couldn't stop. I just want to dig and dig and dig. So it's something that it just keeps me going.
In June 2021, Governor Ron DeSantis established a task force to find abandoned African American cemeteries in the state and make recommendations to maintain the sites. For this group, bringing knowledge about how to properly clean headstones and document cemeteries is a way to keep their American heritage alive. Crypt is set to host a public cleaning February 24th from 9 a.m. to noon at Newninsville. Noelimary Suarez, WUFT News.
The Dixie County Sheriff's Office is adding to its K-9 unit. Scout was donated from the Marion County Sheriff's Office after serving for 2 years. The deputy was dually trained in patrol and narcotics detection, and he's recently been honored with a Medal of Valor and a Medal of Distinction. Sheriff Butler from Dixie County expressed his gratitude to the sister agency for the gifted K-9 ballistic equipment as well as toys and treats with the arrival of Dixie County's newest deputy. Coming up on WUFT News First at 5, it's been 35 years since anyone has last seen a missing UF student.
And after the break, we'll tell you all about that.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Today marks 35 years since Tiffany Sessions left her Gainesville apartment and never returned.
The 20-year-old University of Florida student has never been found, but law enforcement and her family continue to search.
WUFT's Chris Will sat down with Tiffany's mother, Hillary, to find out where things stand more than 3 decades later.
Oh,
It's a smile Hillary Sessions will never forget.
I loved it.
To go along with a memory she will always remember.
She gave me the longest hug that I have ever had.
A reminder of the last time she ever saw her daughter.
Go back to that last conversation you had with her. What would you want her to know?
How much I love her, how much I'm there. I've always been her champion.
35 years ago today, Hillary's daughter Tiffany went for a walk outside her Gainesville apartment. That was the last time anyone saw the 20-year-old University of Florida junior.
All I could do was cry. I could not believe that this was happening to me.
And to this day, Tiffany has never been found. Tips, searches, and digs have all come up empty.
Is you get a piece of equipment or a piece of information and you think this may be the one, and you charge ahead and go work that, and it turns out not to be. And it's heartbreaking.
In 2014, Alachua County Sheriff's Office named Paul Rolls as the prime suspect in the case. And while investigators and Hillary are convinced by the timing and his connection to similar crimes in the state, Rolls died in prison before anyone could speak with him, leaving questions unanswered more than 3 decades later.
We don't have Tiffany. We assume that we're probably looking for a body, although we still continue to hold out hope that she's going to come walking out one day. We just don't know, and neither does the family, and that's the hard part.
It's why the Sheriff's Office has kept the case open for all these years, in hopes of finally bringing Tiffany home.
And after 35 years, the chances of that happening, pretty slim, but at least we're doing the things that need to be done.
Sounds like you're never going to give up on that.
This is my only child. Who's going to fight for her if I don't? And I will never stop.
Fighting to keep those memories alive. Chris Will, WUFT News.
Hillary says she's working with the VA to make arrangements for her daughter to be buried next to her.
And ASO says anyone with any information on where Tiffany may be is encouraged to contact them. Ben?
And we've got a lot of moisture coming in from the Gulf this weekend. How that moisture could possibly develop humidity and the possibility of severe storms coming up after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
A bit of an unusual event happened Wednesday evening. There was a 4.0 magnitude earthquake that occurred off the coast of Cape Canaveral Wednesday evening. Looking back at our campus cam in Crystal River, there are cloudy conditions currently, a little bit of blue peeking through just before sunset. Those clouds were keeping it a little bit more temperate today, but we were experiencing warm conditions in those mid-70s, and those warming trends are going to continue throughout this weekend as we keep looking at our hour by hour for tomorrow. We're starting off before sunrise in the mid-50s and only climbing from there up to those upper 70s as we get into those early afternoon hours of the day. As we look at our weekend planner, you can see Saturday that warming trend that is going to be continued on Sunday with those early morning temperatures in the upper 50s right before sunrise, climbing up to those mid and upper 70s, even hitting 80 degrees over most of our region, which is unseasonably warm for February in upper Florida. Sunday morning lows are going to be in those upper 50s. Again, that is just before sunrise, and that is going to be continuing to warm up throughout the day quite quickly. Looking at our muggy meter, it is going to be quite humid this weekend, starting in those humid on Friday and Saturday and only climbing for Sunday and Monday. After we have a cold front bringing with it some showers on Monday, the humidity is going to drop for Tuesday into a bit more pleasant conditions. Looking at all of this moisture coming into those Gulf Coast regions from the Gulf, you can see a bit of a chance for storms in Louisiana and Mississippi, but our area is going to be pretty much clear from that, only a bit of scattered showers. As we're timing that out, for Saturday you can see we're experiencing some clear conditions, no rain, but there is going to be some cloud coverage. As we move into Sunday evening and those late Sunday hours, you can see some showers popping up here and there, but Monday is when those showers are going to really increase. But luckily, we are not going to be facing much stormy conditions, but as that cold front comes through, it's bringing with it those scattered showers, but those are going to be clear as we move into Tuesday. Looking at our 7-day outlook, you can see those warm conditions for the weekend, upper 70s, even hitting 80 degrees on Sunday. And then as that cold front passes through Monday, bringing with it those showers, we're going to have a temperature dip for Tuesday when we're in those mid-60s, climbing just a little bit throughout the week to get to those 70 mark throughout Thursday and Friday, lows in the mid-40s.
Coming up, Gators Gymnastics has another electrifying matchup in the O'Connell Center. And Todd Golden expresses his thoughts on tomorrow's matchup against Auburn.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Ben McLeish. Gators Gymnastics is back in the O-Dome tonight for another SEC matchup, this time against Arkansas. The Gators are coming off an impressive road win against 21-ranked Georgia. The 6th-ranked Gators are no stranger to tough opponents this season. Today's matchup against number 13 Arkansas marks the Gators' 4th matchup against a ranked team. At 2-1-1, Arkansas has wins over Georgia and Auburn with a tie against Alabama, who defeated the Gators earlier this season. The Gators are in store for another nail-biting match. First pitch for Gators softball is tonight. The Gators begin their season at the USF Rawling Invitational against Oregon State. The Gators begin the season as the 18th ranked team on the preseason poll. They're coming into the 2024 season with high expectations after an early exit in last year's NCAA tournament. The Gators have 4 more games this weekend with doubleheaders tomorrow and Sunday. Gators men's basketball has a pivotal matchup against 12th ranked Auburn in the O'Connell Center tomorrow. The Gators were riding high after their win over 10th ranked Kentucky at Rupp Arena, but a devastating 1-point loss to Texas A&M last week marks tomorrow's matchup a crucial moment in the Gators season. Head coach Todd Golden expressed his respect for this year's Auburn team.
I think they're playing like the best team in our league right now, and I don't want to say it's not close, but it's I think they've kind of separated themselves as the top team right now.
Tip-off for tomorrow's game is at 3:30. Staying on the court, Gators women's basketball pulled off a 10-point fourth-quarter comeback last night to stun Arkansas. The Gators were led by seniors Leilani Carrera and Aaliyah Matharu, who combined for 37 points. The Gators will travel to Mississippi State on Sunday to face the 20-5 Bulldogs. In high school sports, Hawthorne boys basketball defeated Fort White in the 1A District 6 semifinal. Two-sport star C.J. Ingram scored 30 points for the Hornets, sending them to the district championship game against 15-7 Newberry. A win would guarantee the Hornets a spot in the 1A state tournament. There are some other local district championship games tomorrow. Buchholz plays Gainesville, Peking takes on Trinity Catholic, and Williston faces off against Chiefland. Well, it's the most exciting time of the year for NFL fans. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58 on Sunday. 4 former Gators are playing in the Super Bowl, all on the Chiefs. Offensive tackle Jawan Taylor, punter Tommy Townsend, wide receiver Kadarius Toney, and running back LaMichael Pirine will all suit up for the chance to become Super Bowl champions. One final note before we go, Florida native Lamar Jackson won his 2nd career MVP award last night. Lamar Jackson led the Ravens to an NFL-leading 13-4 record this season.
And before you head into your weekend, let's take a look at how one local man encourages literacy while living out the dream of many children. Elementary schools, birthday parties, festivals, you name it, this pirate has been here. 66-year-old Keith Carson of Levy County has been going by the pirate name Captain Kid Carson since 2003. Carson said he was inspired to begin his program, Captain Kid Carson's Buccaneers, to teach children about real treasure for the mind, literature. Carson said the dress-up and pirate voice might be fun, but there is importance in preserving history and passing it on to children. His love of reading takes him to children's hospitals and libraries, encouraging kids to get hooked on reading.
Man, that guy is living my dream. But guys, make sure to go check that out on WUFT because it's a great story. I mean, why wouldn't you want to read it?
Some great video online. And now, Ben, what's our weekend gonna look like?
Well, this weekend might be especially good for the pirates out on the water. It is going to be quite warm and just some cloudy skies. The sea breeze might be even useful for compensating for that humidity. Moving on to Tuesday, it's going to dip after a cold front comes through with temperatures consistent through the rest of the week.
BBC World News is next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
But your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.